Happy VA Wednesday. So today we're going to do a story time because I think this will really illustrate one of the key things you have to watch out for when you're a veteran looking at buying a home. So whether you're looking, you're thinking of looking, you have friends that are looking, this is a story we all need to know. Okay, so before we start, I'm a mortgage lender licensed in 48 states. I do loans everywhere but Rhode Island and Utah. I am the #1 VA loan officer in America, which just means I close a lot of VA loans. I know them inside and out. My team know them inside and out. We deal with VA on a daily basis. Like, we know what works and what doesn't work, okay? So about a week and a half ago, I had done a video about, hey, everybody bring me your loan estimates. Still, bring them to me. If you're working with another lender, I'm always happy to look at it. Make sure you're not getting ripped off, you know, because there's huge discrepancies, whether it's conventional, VA, jumbo, whatever the loan program, like there's huge differences between lenders. And the last thing I want is someone like just feeding a greedy lender when it's unnecessary. So I look at those for free. Call me, text me, 707-478-0637. Yes, I'm giving my number out for everyone who watches me on TV. Okay. Anyways, so this gentleman comes to me and he sends over his loan estimate and I look at it and I'm like, this is high, right? And it's for a conventional mortgage. So whenever I see a high conventional mortgage, I'm like, is this a second home or investment? Those are always gonna have higher rates. No, what's your credit score? 800. I'm like, whoa, that's like perfect credit. It's owner occupied. This guy's getting screwed. You know, the rate was about 0.5% higher than the market and the fees were about $2,000 higher than the market for a conventional loan. So my next question always is, are you doing down payment assistance, like a down payment assistance program? Because those typically, and it depends, but many of them have higher rates and fees. And he said, yes, I am. And I said, okay, well, you know, with down payment assistance programs, like, do you have 3% of your own? Maybe we can get the seller to do the closing. And he's like, I don't. And so we talk a little bit. Right before we hang up, he goes, hey, I'm a veteran. And I go, what? And like, I think he was probably startled because here's the thing, I don't have a filter to a large extent. And there's certain things that just make me really pissed. And I wasn't mad at him, but I had just seen a loan estimate that was already too high. It was too high for conventional, right? And he's a veteran, okay? So just to give you like a math difference, this loan was at 7.625, had monthly mortgage insurance and $4,000 in fees. I priced him out that day as VA, and it was a great day for rates, but I was at 6.125 with no lender fees. That's a big difference, right? That's a huge difference. And VA doesn't have monthly mortgage insurance. So we did the math, and going VA would save him $267 a month. That's on a $300,000 loan, guys. Imagine if it was a bigger loan, like the disparity, but $300,000 is a good sized loan and you already get $267 difference. So I'm like, do you not have any eligibility left? Because I'm like, why are you not using VA? He's like, no, I've never used my VA. I'm like, okay, I gotta ask, like, why aren't you using VA? Like, this doesn't make sense. Like, VA is the best option for you. This is trash compared to it. Why aren't you using VA? Well, my agent said that, you know, with the houses we're looking at, VA's not going to approve it. And here's the thing, guys. 99% of the time I hear this, it's bullshit. It is. And it's because there's so many agents that know nothing about VA, nothing, but they like saw on a real estate agent blog that something stupid, right? So they're giving out advice to clients without actually understanding the product. So I said, okay, benefit of the doubt, like, are you looking at houses without floors? Like, do they have stoves? Like, are they torn apart? Like, what am I missing? He goes, well, like, one didn't have a doorknob. I'm like, okay. I may have reacted violently. And look, I felt so bad for the buyer because he had been given this terrible information that was going to financially harm him, and it was wrong, okay? And that's what you all need to know, is that there's so much misinformation about VA. Does a VA appraiser care if there's a doorknob? Maybe, I mean, a conventional appraiser might too, but either way, like, look, if an appraiser calls out a doorknob, there's two fixes. Number one, put on a doorknob. It's like $10. Or number two, you know, if an appraiser calls out stuff on VA and it's not health and safety, then we can go to VA with a letter from the veteran and they waive it. Not a lot of lenders know that, yet another reason to make sure you're working with a lender that knows VA if you're a veteran. Call me, call me, call me. Okay, seriously. I had to though, because I hear these horror stories. Anyways, so they're not that picky. They're really not. And people are like, oh, they're inspectors. They're not. So I'm like, okay, let me look up your agent real quick, because I had a suspicion. And my suspicion was the real estate agent did no business, because the only time I hear stuff like this is if it's an agent that does no business, or it's an agent that does a very specific type of business in an area there's not a lot of veterans, okay? And in this area, there are veterans. So I look up the agent, lo and behold, they got their license a year ago and they've closed 2 deals. And look, the buyer didn't know this, and as a buyer, you guys don't have the easiest access to data, right? However, in most parts of the country, Zillow's pretty accurate in terms of how much business an agent does. Yes, there's pockets of the country where it's not right, but I always think it's a good idea. You know, Bob Jones, real estate agent, Memphis, Zillow, right? Type that in your search terms. Generally, their Zillow profile will come up. If it says 0 sales within the last 12 months, why are you working with them? If it says 2 sales in the last 12 months, I ask you the same question, right? Because here's the thing, you're not working with an expert. They get paid the same as an expert, but you are not getting expert advice. And in this case, the advice was ignorant, and had the buyer proceeded and never checked it out, they would be paying $267 more a month in a less favorable loan that would be way harder to refinance, right? Because with VA, you can do a VA interest rate reduction loan. No appraisal, no documentation, doesn't matter what the house is worth, wham, wham, lower rate. Not like that over here. And you can't go from conventional to a VA interest rate reduction loan. You'd have to do conventional, but then a full underwrite with VA, which is different and has an appraisal and everything else. So the point of the story is this. Buyers often rely on real estate agents because they think that they're experts. The bottom line is most aren't. And I'll say the same thing about lenders. Most lenders aren't experts. It's a really low bar to get in the industry, and it is problematic. And it's even more problematic when you have people being told that their benefits won't work because of something that's wrong. That's wrong. So look, always good to be working with a professional that can say like, look guys, I look at houses all the time and I'm like, yeah, no, that could be a problem. I don't know if they'll call it out. If they'll call it out, we can do this, this, or that. There's always a solution, okay? It's pretty rare that I look at a house and I say no. And if I say no, it's because it's gonna be The Money Pit. And if you haven't seen the Tom Hanks movie, The Money Pit, watch it, okay? Like, look, if it has a busted foundation, no. No matter what, don't do it, it's terrible, like no. But all these minor things, it's not a big deal with conventional, it's not a big deal with VA, so please don't let someone deprive you of a great loan, a great benefit, 0 down, no mortgage insurance, lower interest rates than conventional, we waive our lender fee. Don't let someone deprive you of that because they just don't know how great it is. So as always, questions, comments, please reach out. Yeah, thanks for watching.